Great. Thank you so much, Hira, for the introduction. I appreciate that. And thank you, everyone, for joining. And I'm super excited about announcing this project of Planet Diatom. But I also feel I'm a little, um, I don't know. Um, It's a hard day for sure. I'm thinking of our dear colleagues and friends in Iran and sending our thoughts for well-being of the people of Iran and for the people of our entire planet Earth, um, our diatom planet. And so just sending out wishes that we may live in a peaceful world together. Um, Hi, Planet Diatom. Um, this is a project that I've been thinking about for some time and working to be able to launch. And I'm really pleased to be able to share it with all of you today and looking forward to getting your feedback. Really, so one of the things that just precipitated this is simply lack of federal funding. It is often pretty straightforward to be able to get funding for a new website, but it's pretty difficult to get funding to maintain a website in the long term. And diatoms.org, as it is now, is a resource that's been here for now over 20 years in its various forms. And in that 20 years, it's just become more valuable over time. And so I really feel like this is something that I get a lot of feedback from people that use the site and find it helpful for their work and study and inspiration. And simply by the sheer numbers of people that use it. And back in 2024, I gave a kind of summary of what diatoms.org had done as an organization and, sort of launching off on where do we go from here. Somebody maybe put something in the chat. In case you didn't see that, I can't see my chat, but I trust that there's a link in there. If you want to hear more about all the things that diatoms.org went through, I'm not going to do that again, but you can go back to this recording and if you want to know more about that. And I'm going to just use my previous talk as a point of departure for today. Okay, why isn't my thing going? Okay. So briefly, that lack of federal funding after that talk in 2024, we launched a campaign, very modest campaign, to just keep the servers running. Okay, can we keep this, keep the lights on? And most of you on this call, the supporters of diatoms.org, donated funds to help us reach that goal of keeping the servers running. And we made it there. So thank you. I'm so grateful for everyone's support to be able to reach that first milestone. But just imagine if we could do more than just keeping the servers running. And so this, what I want to show you that one of the things that we're able to do with the help of all of you and with the Society for Freshwater Science, we were awarded a grant from the Innovation Fund to improve the compare feature. So with SFS, our developers at SoulSpace, our designer, Tim Gasparek, and feedback from all of you, we've been able to improve what we call the compare feature. So now I'm going to do this dangerous thing of getting out of not sharing this, my talk, and I'm going to go try to share my screen. So I can show you. Okay, I hope you can see it.
We do.
Thank you. So just to remind everybody what the compare feature is when you go to a taxon page, you see a lineup, and then you can compare that lineup with species that are often confused or very similar with one another by scrolling through and seeing them side by side, with their differences clearly outlined. And one of the things we found out pretty quickly is that as we got more long and skinny species, that this kind of fell apart. If you use the site, you may have noticed that you could scroll forever and never see the comparison taxon. So we had been wanting to adjust that for some time. And now we have an alternative, which I'm really interested to hear about what this does to your brain from looking at diatoms. So now, for very diatoms that are very long and skinny, we have a different way of displaying them and comparing them. And you'll figure this out, that you can select the first one, the largest valve, or you can select the smallest valve, and then any of the ones in the middle. And one of the things, so the Taxonomic Certification Committee came back, and it was really interesting to see all of you looking at this and seeing that it does something different to our brains, I think. We're used to maybe seeing an entire lineup. We think about diatoms as a size series. What do they look like from really big to really small? And we're changing this so that you can, in this some way, we're looking at individual specimens. So I don't know. I'm interested to hear your feedback. You can go on there and poke around to see how that works for your diatoms that you're familiar with. Okay, I'm going to stop the share and go back to my talk if I can find it. Okay, that's my whole screen. Does it look weird? Okay. So that's an example of something that we were able to apply for the funding in December, work together to design it, to implement it, and it's now posted. So it's really exciting to be able to turn things around. quickly and do them in a way that is beneficial to all of us. So Planet Diatom is now officially a nonprofit corporation with IRS standing as a 501c3 organization. It's guided by a terrific board of directors: Evelyn Geiser, Andy Alverson, Marina Potapova, Mark Edlund, and myself. And we are just getting started on what we can do with this organization in applying for foundation funding and raising money in different ways to support diatoms.org in big new ways. One of the things that we have not really taken advantage of is the number of the people who use diatoms.org. Even from 2024 to 2025, the page views jumped from 1.01 million to 1.08 million, which is actually a lot. We're increasing in the active users, people who are coming back to the site. And I'm not totally sure about event count, but I think it's sort of going back and forth on the website. And if we were just even, to get $1 for every page view each year, we'd have a more budget than we would know what to do with. So we, on the other hand, though, we don't necessarily want to put ads all over this resource. One of the things that makes it, I think, wonderful is the design and how well it works, and it's something that allows us to focus on our whatever our jobs are, whatever our research is. So at least I have been resistant to doing that. But that doesn't mean that there are not other ways that we can raise funds. So we are now, with the help of Regina Raydan, who is our fundraiser for Planet Diatom, submitting letters of interest. So that is the first step that we take in obtaining in seeking funds from nonprofit foundations. As of now, we will be putting out those letters that this is now officially a nonprofit. And what are we going to do? What are the dreams for diatoms.org? Here are a few things. I'll just put it out there, and we'll have a little chance to have feedback from all of you. One of the things we found that one of the most effective ways to build the content of diatoms.org, the genus and species pages, is to fund workshops. We've had workshops in Philadelphia, in Colorado. We could do them in Iowa, and it's a really effective way to make pages together and also build our community and mentor students and support each other and communicate about diatoms. We can do more to link morphology and genomics. We can expand our educational opportunities and offerings from diatoms.org by connecting. We already do a lot of that with art and science and reaching out to one another. What can we do with AI to improve all our analyses without having, something stupid? Retain what we do really well as taxonomists and what machines can do to assist us in our work. Also, just expanding workshops, courses, discussions to all experience levels of how about voucher voucher floras. We can host and serve those in new ways. For example, I have on my own over 20,000 geolocated images of specimens in permanent collections that have been identified. And I talk to people all the time that tell me, oh, I've got 20,000 too. That might be something that we can do in sort of a data analysis sort of way to speed up that process. I'm really excited about short videos or animations that explain diatom life cycles, their environmental roles, importance to carbon cycling, and the global importance of diatoms in carbon fixation and reverse weathering. These are things that we can do almost in a translational science kind of way of translating the research to the people who are excited to get it about these organisms that are so dominant in our planet. Okay, so now I'm going to switch again. How do you like this picture, Mark? Okay. If you can go to this thing, we have a mural board, and you can go there if you take a picture of the QR code, or David, if you drop that, there's a link that you could drop in the chat that people can also get there by a link.
It is posted.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to stop sharing again. So if anybody can't get there, I'm going to show it on my screen too. I told you this was risky. Okay.
It's working out well so far.
Okay. So everybody gets 10 votes if you get to this mural board. Oh, wow. Looks like people are in there. Everyone gets 10 votes on each of these yellow stickies. And you could vote. So on the first one, we have, what are the 5 most important activities that plant diatom could do? You might think that training the next generation of diatomists is the only thing that we should do. And you could put all 10 votes there. So you could just click in 10 times. If you change your mind, you can put your mouse on that vote and delete it and move it somewhere else.
Sarah, do we get 10 votes for each of these categories or 10 votes for the whole screen?
10 votes for the whole screen, and you can put them at anywhere.
Okay.
And you might be able to put in your own sticky note. I'm not sure. You could try that. So nobody's complaining, so I think that it's working, right? Oh no, look, I can see Visiting Shark has 9 votes left. All right. And 18 people are still voting. So, yeah, and take your time. You don't need to rush this. You can think about things that are
Sarah, how do you get to this page again?
Um, you can go to the link that's in your chat. Are you able to do that, Tom?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Thank you.
It would be great if you're the visiting sea turtle, Tom, but um, has anybody tried to add a note? Does that work? If you want something new?
I haven't found it yet. I've tried right-clicking and some things. I'm not.
Okay. Well, if you have something that's not um, on the board, go ahead and put that in the chat so we can record your review. And as you can see, it's anonymous, so we don't know what you're picking, and so no pressure. I shouldn't do this. Well, okay. And I can't see if any comments are coming in the chat, but feel free to add what you think would be something that is an important thing that Planet Diatom could do, or a role that Planet Diatom can play in the scientific community, or opportunities you see for supporting research and collaboration. And what would success look like in 5 years? How do we judge if we're on the right track for meeting, if our audience is ourselves, basically?
Sarah, I was buried in the voting, and there's a couple of comments in the chat. Do you know, Anna asked, what do we do when we're done? Do we just close the window? And Rob also asked if we can vote after the presentation.
Probably not. Well, this is kind of a quick vote right now, so I hope when I end the voting session, we'll see what people are. Rob, are you not able to see it? Because I can send it to you to vote or something like that.
Muted, Rob.
If somebody's not able to vote on this version, I can send you this as a PDF and you can let me know your votes. And I will take these to the board of directors for their consideration and your ideas for our conversations. So I see there's a few people that have some more votes. Let's give you another minute and then I'll end the voting and see if this thing worked. Okay. I'm gonna end the voting session. No one can vote once. Okay, I'm gonna end it. Voting results. Okay, top votes. Training the next generation of diatomists. Second tier, providing updated resources and tools for diatomists, supporting DONA, having a reliable, consistent funding source, which kind of plays into the next one of sustainability of Planet Diatom, making science of diatoms accessible, marine and freshwater diatomists, doubling the count of species pages, connecting communities in the broadest sense. This is great. Great, great, great. Thank you, everyone. And I will record this and I'm not sure what I do. I know it's going to be in here. Oh, there it is. Can you see that, everybody? That how people voted?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for playing that. Thank you for playing that game with me. Okay. And now I will share again. No. And if you didn't get to vote, let me know and I will gather your votes in another way. Something I learned yesterday is that, well, I don't know if all of you know that we have a YouTube channel, and these seminars are, go to that channel. If we increase the subscribers to the YouTube channel, I think we have something like 600. If we get it up to 1,000, then and we get a lot of views on our Diatom Web Academy seminars, people can see ads over there, but we would be able to monetize the people watching different seminars. So with that QR code, you can go to our YouTube channel and subscribe and help us reach a larger audience, and any amount of funding will help. Does that work? Did anybody try it?
Yep, I just did it and it just was one button and you're subscribed. So
Great, thank you. So, and I know most of you have already donated, but ask your friends and ask your family and ask our colleagues to donate even $5 per year, because we have such a large audience that this would really go a long way to helping us reach our goal to be a sustainable organization. And so with that, I'd just like to acknowledge all of the people and organizations and minds that shaped this project. It would not be possible without everyone, from our big funders to the contributors of taxon pages, all more than 200 of you, and the individuals that Google on their phone when they're in a bar, what are diatoms? So this is something that we're all doing together, and I enjoy it very much, and I'm looking forward to doing more with all of you. Okay.
Thanks, Sarah. That's
And
great.
if you go to diatoms.org, you can see now the presence of Planet Diatom. The donation button is not yet available, but it will be very soon. And yeah, I look forward. Now I'm finally seeing the chat. Um, I don't know. We can open it up for questions.
Well, you just answered one of my questions, Sarah. I was going to ask about how people donate, and it sounds like that's going to be something that's going to be going live shortly.
Yes, it's very soon
Okay.
that you will see a place to donate, a single time donation or
Mhm.
once a month or once a year, and different options for giving to Planet Diatom.
Okay, cool. And so this is replacing the donation system that was with University of Colorado Boulder.
That's right. We had donations through the CU Foundation, and that's how we raised fundings to keep the servers going. And I found that it was hard to sort of customize the interface with the CU Foundation, and I felt like we were losing a lot of people because it wasn't really clear what they were giving to. So the system that we have now is really terrific and slick and clear about what it is, where the funds are going, and what it's supporting. So yeah, it'll be a really nice improvement.
Um, let's see. I think David just suggested that there are some the possibility of sort of making some shorts, so some brief shorter videos from our longer Diatom Web Academies that might be attractive to viewers as well. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Or
I shouldn't get the credit there. Someone named Diatom Dog, which maybe could be confused for me. Question, but
all right.
we've thought a lot about making shorts. There are things that we have done even on the YouTube side to reach diatoms to wider audiences already, as far as like building in hashtags and linking our information to related topics. But yeah, there's a lot of great talks that we've already had, and it's just trying to find a efficient way with a little bit of time to turn those into little sound bites. As Sarah alluded to earlier, what AI comes up with doesn't always make sense. So there's still a lot of human editing that is involved.
One of the things I'm really excited about is almost, becoming a science journalist. I see, wonderful articles in scientific journals that are just so fascinating about diatoms and their roles and things that people are uncovering now. And I think the translation to the public is not happening. And we could have little exercises where we each take an article that comes out and distill it into something that is digestible for the public, and exciting to learn about, the just how massive the impact of these microscopic organisms are.
One way to challenge people to do that is, Sarah, is something that I've been doing it. I'm at a museum as well, so it seems like a good outlet for that kind of stuff is every time you publish a paper, challenge yourself to write something that is digestible by your mother.
That
And
exactly.
and that shows the relevance and the importance of this science we do. And I've been trying to do it when I publish a paper, and sometimes I can do it. Sometimes it's a little bit like, nah, I'm not going to play with this one.
Yeah.
But but it's a way to force us as scientists also to think outside our little boxes sometimes too. So
Yeah. We have a section under the what are diatoms that has, as you go um, deeper down the page, there are sections like, can I eat diatoms? And people, I can look at the analytics and people um, will be searching for that and Google that, and it takes them right to our site. And so we can gather um, viewers by just answering these, maybe silly questions, but as another way to bring them into what are diatoms anyway, and where can I buy them, and what is diatomite, and when did they evolve, and just very simple threads that we can do. And Anna has the question of doing this together of I think that's a great community effort too of sort of like journal club that we hold between our Web Academy group.
hey, Sarah, Allison posed a question in the chat that said, what about partnering with science-related social media influencers?
Wow. Allison, who are those people? I don't know that I'm tapped into science
Hmm.
related social media influencers.
So I've met a couple at different conferences over the years, and some of them are still fairly active. Others have kind of like come and gone. But anybody who posts like really captivating videos of microscopic organisms, no matter what they are, they're always so eye-catching, and people will stop and look at that stuff, even if they have no idea what they're looking at. So I follow a couple of accounts through Instagram that are microscopy focused, and they've got like hundreds of thousands of followers. And I think that it could be as simple as just reaching out to them and saying, "Hey, we're starting this Planet Diatom 501c3. Can you help us push our mission forward?" And they might be interested in just having a new subject to share with their followers.
Hmm. Yeah, Pacific Plankton, I know of that one. She's terrific
Yes,
and
exactly. She does
takes
so much
her
cool stuff at bars
micros
and
she takes her
yes.
microscope into bars and people say, "What's that?"
Sarah, I have a question that I don't know if you know the answer to, but someone on here might. So you indicated that if we were to up our subscribers to the Diatom Web Academy YouTube channel, that we would we actually get money from you from would someone get money from YouTube then?
Yeah, that is you need to have it.
1,000?
1,000 subscribers is the
Okay.
first thing, and then there's a certain number of views per
Mhm.
year, and then the
Okay.
payout is 50 to $100. I forget if
Interesting.
it's a year or a month.
Okay.
But there's some sort of threshold level, and
Hmm.
if we say had posted some um, even shorts on there, um, you get some, you can monetize that payout. That's how people are, um, some of the crazy things out there of people making
Mhm.
millions of dollars on their YouTube views.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is so exciting, and thank you for telling us all about this. I mean, I might have missed this when we were talking about the funding of Planet Diatom. What's the plan for? I know there's going to be a donation page, but I think I heard you mention something about targeting foundation funding. And I'm also curious, like how much money, and I know you've presented on this before, maybe not during this talk, per year are is like the target, or is that to be determined?
Thank you, Kelsey. I appreciate that. Well, my target is that we reach $1 million in the next 5 years. I think we can make that. Regina is an experienced fundraiser, and she's guiding me in how this process works of submitting to foundations. So we have some targeted, and we're just going to just put out applications, letters of interest, things that fulfill what our mission is. One of the things I'm putting toward the board is there's kind of like, here are the things we want to do. And then there's also the things we don't want to do that are taking us away from what our core mission is. And so I think that's quite important that we keep it directed. So for example, there could be an announcement for funding, I don't know, something that's not that related that would take us away from what our goal is. So that's quite important to me. And it doesn't matter. For me, I think no amount is too small. But so especially in the beginning, if we've got a little bit of momentum, we were able to get this Society for Freshwater Science Innovation grant and showed that we were able to implement that quickly and beautifully, and the website works. That's one of the things that has made this a success from the beginning, is that you don't get bogged down. It's not slow. It doesn't you know not work. It like works every time, and that I really credit Soul Space with being really good at what they do. And so yeah, from the large to the small in terms of sources, to shoot for that goal.
That's really exciting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sarah, I just wanted to circle back again since you brought up the compare section. I really like that feature. I rationalize with myself that when I look in the microscope, I see diatoms in all orientations. So why do they have to be standing on their end for me to look at them as a reference? I was curious, do you know if it is at all within the realm that we could maybe have I hate to say a compare feature 3.0, where a person could maybe even upload their own image at the scale of the images they're comparing to? Because I was immediately like, okay, this is really cool. I like being able to line these tags up right next to each other. What if my specimen of interest could be right on top of that? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I've kind of thought about that quite a bit. And then I go talk to Marina, and what I do is it's just almost just as quick as you take a screenshot of what's on diatoms.org and you throw it in PowerPoint, and you take your specimen and throw it, and it's kind of that.
Sure.
If that were, if it's almost like, I almost don't know if it's more effort to make it on a web interface. But I know what you mean, David, because I do that all the time. Um, so
I get,
yeah,
I
I don't
guess
know.
just to go a little bit further, I was wondering if one of the stipulations in doing that is a person added, like, let's say, geolocated information when they put an image into the compare section, and then that image would go into our database somehow and fuel building this sort of um, lower tier flora of collected images of people who've been working on. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, could be. I'm not, you know, talk to me more about it. Convince me.
Okay, sure.
We've had lots of suggestions of science-related social media influencers in the chat, Sarah. There's been about, it looks like we've had 8, 9 that have been entered in there of things, and I wonder
Yeah,
if
I'm seeing
anyone has any thoughts on do people just reach out to these people and say, hey, you've never done, Mr. or ology, you've never done a diatomology. Let's do it. Tom, you want to weigh in?
Yeah, sure. I had a question not related to that, but
Oh,
something
okay.
before, something about do we have anybody have any estimate about how much it costs to produce a species page or a genus page? And I'm thinking, I think a lot of us avoid the most difficult ones and just shoot for the low-hanging fruit. And I'm wondering if we could maybe encourage someone else by paying an expert. I'm thinking about, some of the pseudonychia or, some of the stuff that requires TEM. Yeah. So just ideas about that, just a way of getting more the problematic taxa online.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. That's a great question. And I would just put it back at you because you're going to know more than anyone because you've been
Mhm.
working on making these species pages as outlets for your NSF grant, how much effort you put into it. But we have done that in the past. We have given, we've had a couple of models for funding, individual contributors. We were, the rate was $1,000 a page. And it wasn't contingent on whether it was an easy one or a hard one. But what the outcome was is people picked the low-hanging fruit. And we still don't have a page for Gomphonema parvulum. So that is a issue for sure. Yeah, we get the things that are easy and not the ones that are hard, which tend to be the common ones. And that's where I think the workshops can be a more effective way to create pages because say we get 10 people working together over a week and running in, sort of talking back and forth. Okay, this is what's in the academy. This is the type. This is what all these references say. These are, getting through the difficult part of it is more time consuming for sure.
Sarah, may I speak? I'm not familiar with the Zoom and I cannot find that hand
Oh, okay. No,
to ask for
nice to hear you,
permission.
Michaela.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't have a working camera as well. So sorry about that. I just wanted to suggest something else because here we are so many taxonomist people and describing new species. And I was thinking a way of popularizing your new species when you find a beautiful one and you really like it, maybe do some efforts and reach out to the community to have it like your state diatom species because each state has like the microbe, the frog, the fish, the this, the that. So you know that we have your co-author for Olaxara New Jerseyana, right?
No, you have what for
You
New
are
Jersey?
co-author with Marina and I for Olacosaira newjerseyana, the new species from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
That's the state diatom?
No, not yet. I don't know,
Okay.
maybe. Because I found a school to popularize it. So I went to the school, I gave them a presentation, I spoke to them about, paleo, coring. I showed them a lot of stuff. And the school agreed to have it named like the Diatom species for the state of New Jersey. So now it's at the level of the house. So the state house. So we will see. I don't know if they will accept it or not, or how long it will take, but it's still a way of popularizing because most of the taxonomy work stays with us, with diatom people, and doesn't really reach, communities or. But it's a way, I think, a way of bringing awareness about diatoms. And when you bring up, your new species, it's not only your new species, but you can tell them about a lot of stuff about diatoms in general, why they are important, how they are used. So applications like environmental applications, stuff like this. Because the kids, like the high school kids, they like to hear this stuff.
That's a great idea, Michaela. I love it that, to have a state diatom. I used to tell the diatom class that we needed to have state diatomists and to go back to your state and call up the someone in your state office and say you'd like to speak to the state diatomist, please.
Yeah, that was nice.
We are coming up on the top of the hour here. Anyone else have any other questions or anything to add to the chat about the future of DONA and Diatom Planet? Hi, Layla. Oh.
Tom.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you,
Hi.
Sarah, for excellent job. I mean, this is a fantastic achievement you all done for the last 20 years, and keeping it going. Again, thank you and congratulations.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, thank you for joining, everyone. If you didn't get to vote or you have other comments that you would like to express to me or the board, drop me an email. I'd like to make sure I properly thank the editorial review board. Who has been quite active this year, and you'll be hearing more about how the board is making recommendations and decisions to how diatoms.org presents taxonomy in North America, and that you'll have a chance to give us feedback on that too.
Sarah, will you let me know what you would like, if you'd like a follow-up to go to the webinar chat group on any of the links or anything like that?
Oh, the webinar chat group. Can you do that? You can chat the people on the webinar?
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, sending out an email with any of the links, or if there's any follow-up stuff you would like.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Julianne. Appreciate that. It's great to see everyone.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right.